Hey everybody, it's me Shane, and I'm here to give you, a introspective video. Since the MCU began ooh, maybe 12, 14 years ago, I believe it was 2007 when Iron Man came out, there's been like a bigger and bigger boom for these comic book type of movies. We all know DC has tried to catch up, and in the wake of this, there's also been tons of comic book related TV shows, or even shows that have been, related or should I say, refer to comic books and comic book movies, like the NBC show Heroes. Heroes is basically X-Men, which is a really good show. I recommend you find it. It might be on Peacock. I need to look that up myself. But there's also been the rise of a little show known as The Boys. The Boys is, if you have been living on the rock for the last 2 or 3 years, The Boys is an indie comic that has become a Amazon Prime show. I currently do not have Amazon Prime, but I do keep up on what's going on. I have a friend that has it, and I basically inform them, tell me everything that's going on. I want to know how different it is from the comics because I have familiarity with the comics, but not a deep one. Um, Not deep, but I know the important bits. The Boys ran from 2006 to 2012, and it went through two different companies. Blah 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 blah. But the reason why I'm talking today is because I was sent a quote from the showrunner Eric Kripke, and he was basically saying, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to read you the whole thing. I'm getting this from NME.com. I usually don't get anything from them, but the only other sites are Screen Rants and CBR. I'm not a huge fan of them, and I didn't want to read CBR because they have a lot of fluff in it. So I will be putting the link to NME and Screen Rants in the bottom because there's a part of Screen Rants that I want to get to as well. So the showrunner had said that the Marvel movies can be dangerous and suggested that they are partially blamed for Donald Trump and the rise of populism. The Amazon Prime show series, the paper made fans as a satire to the superhero genre, and Noah's boss has argued that superhero films in the Marvel canon have conditioned people on the point to where Trump's election was possible. And I quote, "People might be surprised to know this. I'm actually a fan of the Marvel stuff. The filmmaking is often impeccable. I actually really enjoy the humorous tone that a lot of them are written in. They're snarky and fast and glib, and I like that style. My issue with them are not the movies themselves, but there's too many of them in general." He further explained that I sort of believe it's dangerous not to overstate it or be overdramatic, but it's a little dangerous to train an entire generation to wait for someone strong to come in and save you. That's I think how you end up with people like Trump and populists who say, "I'm the only one who can come in. It's going to be me." And I think in that way, the pop culture conditions people subtly, and it's conditioning them the wrong way because there's just too much of it. So I think it's nice to have a corrective, at least a small one in us to say, they're not going to come and save you. Hold your family together and save yourselves. Uh, it also goes on to talk about how he's not the only person that has given criticism for the Marvel movies. Martin Scorsese, who famously said that there's no, and I quote, revelation, mystery, or genuine emotional danger in these movies. Um, I can't remember the last time I saw a Scorsese movie. He's award-winning director, writer, so I am not criticizing him for that. Side note, like whatever you like, it doesn't matter. Some people can't watch drama all day, just like some people can't listen to classical music all day. Sometimes you gotta listen to the jank, sometimes you gotta watch the jank. But that's just how it goes. My comment was on how this overuse and the I don't want to say the overpopulated, but with all the amount of these MCU movies that come out, I can understand his point. I kind of agree and kind of disagree. I can see that there's a ton of them, and it could be telling people there's someone out there that's going to come and save you. But I have four different movies within the MCU that kind of counteract that or actually have good morals and tales. Actually, the entirety of the Captain America trilogy, not just his journey, but his trilogy, The first movie is basically it's telling you that you can come from humble backgrounds and you can be something. And once you achieve power, you know, don't let it go to your head. Continue to be a good person. That's the first movie. The second movie, it's a very great espionage movie. It's probably still the best of the MCU movies. It's at least top five, right? It's in my top five. But the importance within that is we learn from Captain America just like we learn in the comics. When the entire world seems to, be changing, seems to be wrong. If you know that something is, what you're trying to say is right, what you're trying to do is right, and the rest of the world is against you for whatever reason it is, you got to stand firm. You have to stand on your morals and stand on your beliefs. That's what the first and the second movie were trying to say. Sorry, the second and third movie. Third movie being Civil War. You got to stand firm in what you believe in your morals and everything else like that. Even if it means going head to head with your friends, which eventually, if you're truly friends, you'll come back together. Even the Spider-Man films, which it's very funny. The I don't remember the director for those. Forgive me, but they openly said we're making these movies John Hughes-esque. If you stay throughout the entire movie, throughout the credits for not just the first movie but the second movie, it's so much like Breakfast Club. It's so much like those movies from the late '80s, early '90s. Those John Hughes films. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, things like that. That is used to invoke a certain emotion inside of you, Mr. Scorsese. But it's used to invoke a certain emotion in you. Peter Parker's journey has gone from trying to understand why, you know, what makes me me. Does all these things I have make me, or does who I am inside make me? And even the second movie, where he is just trying to navigate through grief and loss, something that a lot of us have gone through, especially in this type of climate that we've been going through for the last 8 to 9 months. Um, even myself, personally, I have lost someone, uh, maybe about going on 2, 3 years now. Even I'm still trying to get over it. Movies like that is trying to reflect and tell you something, while at the same time trying to be entertaining. Even Doctor Strange, the movie's trying to tell you about hubris. Don't go overboard. Realize your limitations. Guardians of the Galaxy is about misfits coming together and saying, I am more than my situation. I am beyond my means. Don't really know what the second movie was trying to say. It was still enjoyable. Even the first Iron Man movie was a reflection of a guy. While he was rich and while he was genius, he was seeing the results of his actions ripple and seeing its effect on the world. He said, I'm not a bad guy at heart, but I'm doing business, and now I see that my business is actually hurting people around the world. What is my reaction to that? The MCU universe. So that's my refute on that. While yes, as as a as a as a black man in America, I understand you can't wait for someone to save you. And yes, we do have to work hard and do things ourselves. And I don't think these movies are trying to say wait for the right person. What they're saying is, hey, you person, if you have the ability to do so, do something. Don't wait for this person. Do it for yourself. You see people in trouble, do it, be careful, but do what you can. Uh, the one thing I wanted to get out of the Screen Rants was that the producer, and if I can get her name, the producer, the executive producer of The Boys, Rebecca Sonshine, she was furious after seeing Endgame because of the A Force kind of thing, where all the ladies came around Peter to try to transfer the gauntlet away from Thanos. And spoilers if you haven't finished The Boys. There's a scene in like the last episode, and is referring back to something early on about girls getting it done. And the three ladies, Queen Maeve, Kimiko, and Starlight, they're stomping a mud hole in Stormfront, who rightfully deserves it. And it's been compared to the A Force moment. A lot of people are saying, yeah, that's way better than the A Force. It builds up to it. And haven't seen anybody going opposite. I'm pretty sure they have. My take on that, Endgame is a 2 to 2.5, almost 3 hour movie. There was no way that you would have anything to build up to it. Actually, one of the best build ups was probably Scarlet Witch when she comes back and says, "You took everything from me." He's like, "I don't know you," and she proceeds to beat his butt. That's a good build up. We've been waiting 2 years to see what she would do once she came back. I get it, but in the confines of TV shows versus movies, you have way more time to show what's going on with TV shows as opposed to what's going on with the movies. On top of that, it's just it's just a reference. It's saying, hey, remember that comic book we did in 2014? We had a group of female Avengers. It's an all ladies book. Here's a reference to that. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is a catch 22 moment. It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. I'm pretty sure if they never did that moment, there would be someone out there complaining, say, why didn't we get a moment with all the ladies teaming up? Marvel doesn't care about women. Yeah, 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 yeah. So it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't moment. I enjoyed the moment. I know what they were going for. I'm pretty sure somewhere down the line we will get a moment where this is good, where this is great. It's part of the reason why, small tangent, part of the reason why I love the X-Men. There's been various X-Men teams where there's been, ladies as the leaders, guys as the leaders. There's been a team of mostly women and two men, mostly women and one man. The X-Men do a really great job of showing different types of people, not just ethnically, but along the different genres and along the different genders. Pardon me, I had to sneeze there. Everyone comes from different backgrounds, different sexualities, different everything for these X-Men comic books. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get something great like that whenever they decide to give us X-Men movies. So yeah, those are just my feelings on. Initially, it was just on Kripke's opinion about there being too much. Personally, I get it. Oversaturation is a horrible thing. Ask the Assassin's Creed fans. Well, ask people what they think about Assassin's Creed, and ask people what they think about Madden and 2K coming out every single year. Oversaturation can be an issue, but if people are enjoying it, it's great. I don't think we should look too far into it, but at the same time, I agree. Don't look for people to save you, but do what you can. Do what you can. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just wanted to do a little something. This is probably gonna go out a little bit later, but that's all right. So please tell me your opinions down below. Did you hate the A-Force moment? How great was that seeing Stormfront get stomped into? What do you feel about the MCU? Are you just like these are just movies? I'm just trying to enjoy myself. Are you a hardcore comic book fan? Are you a reasonable comic book fan like myself that likes to see things get done properly, while at the same time, if you take liberties, I'm not upset. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified of all these great videos that are going on. Please remember to share the video. Don't forget to comment. And please, wear a mask, be safe, be good, be blessed. Black Lives Matter. And I will definitely see you next time.